Hey, what up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you, talking a lot about the WWE Monday Night Raw for tomorrow, December 29th, 2014. Seems like WWE is finally going to be getting down to business and building up for this big Brock Lesnar versus John Cena. This is going to be their third bout of this year with the with SummerSlam, with Night of Champions, and now finally the Royal Rumble coming up here in 2015. So I guess it's not even there; it's just the next year, but whatever. Getting down to business, Brock Lesnar will be making his second secret appearance. I'm sure that much like me, you guys have been hearing about Brock Lesnar being booked for this edition of Monday Night Raw for a good little while, and it was a topic of discussion on today's Wrestling Observer podcast, basically with Dave Meltzer and Brian Alvarez going over the fact of why WWE isn't pushing the fact that Brock Lesnar is going to be appearing on the show. Maybe they don't want to be giving him the benefit of the doubt of popping a good rating because of the fact he's going to be there, by people knowing that he's going to be there. I don't know. At this point, I think with the 3-hour Raws, with them losing a lot of people in the third hours, which is probably more than likely the point they're going to be using Brock Lesnar is at the end of the show. I know in the last show he was on a few weeks ago, we got to see him twice on that show. Once coming out to save Paul Heyman in the Chris Jericho match, and again coming back at the end of the show to come out and attack John Cena inside of the steel cage. I'm thinking that more than likely that was a one-time deal. I know that you want to get your money's worth out of Brock, but I think that more than likely he's going to be used coming out to be looking for a fight against John Cena, having to have some sort of a tactical advantage by beating him up before the match happens in a few weeks at the Royal Rumble in Philadelphia. Hoping that at this point that John Cena will see Brock coming and maybe stand up to him. You don't want to see John Cena basically being killed by this guy. But the one thing that I have questions about that might not get answered is basically during the steel cage match, we saw sort of an alliance between Seth Rollins, Paul Heyman, and Brock Lesnar that I think has somehow been erased since that show has happened. When Seth Rollins came out on the Christmas special, basically he was still going at it, complaining with the fact that the authority needs to be brought back by John Cena. I don't know if that is mostly because the Christmas Raw was a throwaway show and there was really not a whole lot that was going to be going down on that mattered in the long run. I think that you did finish off the Seth Rollins versus John Cena feud, sort of making Seth Rollins go in a new direction where he's going to be feuding with Randy Orton. Of course, John Cena will be going in a different direction where he'll be feuding with John Cena. So I think those are major things that come down to it. But, we did see Rollins and Paul Heyman almost make it look like it was almost a plan that he was going to be there. Maybe now with Rollins being inside of the fold, it's sort of for protection on Brock, that he doesn't have to watch his back like Night of Champions, where Rollins isn't going to come down and try and cash in on him. I do think at the end of this ordeal, whether if Cena beats Brock or whether if Brock beats Cena, I think it's a great chance that at the Royal Rumble we're going to be seeing a cash in by Seth Rollins. I just have this major feeling that Seth Rollins is going to be the champion heading into WrestleMania, and I think that it is something they're going to be doing to sort of up their game and try to make WrestleMania look as good as it can get. Hopefully, with the championship not being on Brock Lesnar, then you can open up Brock to a match maybe against somebody like The Undertaker or The Rock, something like that, where the championship doesn't matter because the guy that's going to be fighting Brock Lesnar isn't going to be there, because we all know that Brock Lesnar is going to be leaving after WrestleMania, probably more than likely heading to Bellator, or more likely than not UFC, which is the huge rumor. Well, he'll be heading over and hanging out with CM Punk once again. I'm thinking more than likely that Paul Heyman will be going with him as well, and maybe we'll just be seeing him on WWE Network specials, and he won't be an ongoing television person. So Rollins screwing himself out of that pact that was made with Heyman and Lesnar makes most sense out of the whole ordeal. Then you also would open up the door to Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins match at WrestleMania for the championship, which seems a whole lot more appealing than the Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar match. I know that the final outcome will be Roman Reigns winning the championship. Maybe he doesn't win it off somebody as strong. Gotta make Roman look strong than Brock Lesnar. But, at least you have the whole Shield appeal, one of the greatest factions that WWE has had in the last, good matter of years. And, there's a good backstory that goes along with Rollins versus Reigns, especially with Reigns having the hernia surgery for their first scheduled singles match on a pay-per-view, which then would be pushing that back all the way into WrestleMania. So, lots of things that could go down, but Brock Lesnar being on Monday Night Raw probably at the end of the night will be the biggest thing that goes down the whole night.